What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So two things. I feel like I'm getting sick. I've been working out here in the rain, in the cold, and it's starting to catch up to me. And the second thing is, I'm not sure how the audio in this whole video is gonna go because I've been having issues with the microphone scratching up really bad. I'm not sure if the adapter is messed up or if the Rode mic is messed up, but I think I'm ready for a new camera because my current setup is destroying my audio quality. So I've already messed up my Hero 3 and this Hero 5 is getting jacked up too. Why? Because I use it a lot, I vlog a lot, and I bring it pretty much everywhere underneath, inside, on road trips. It takes a lot of abuse, and it's catching up to the GoPro itself too. So if y'all seen the last video, I did go to Y&S Fittings, which is a friend of mine, about an hour away, and I picked up the rest of the things that I need for my fuel system, except for two fittings, which should come in tomorrow. I want to show you guys what I'm going to be using as far as everything. I didn't really cover it too much 2 videos ago, so I'm going to lay everything out right now, show you what I have, and then we'll kind of dive into it and show you my process, my setup for my car. I'm gonna go underneath the car here real quick. On the fuel cell, there's a -10 on it right now that's pointed to about right here ish, and I took my pump filter setup, and it's actually a lot longer than the wheel tub itself, so I might have to move the pump setup over to this side and use the right side -10 on the sump and just make my fuel go out that way. It's not going to change anything as far as flow wise because it's pretty symmetrical, but my exhaust I ordered is the Vibrant Street Power box, which is the box I run on all of my cars that has mufflers. And with this setup, I'm not going to be doing the typical passenger over the LCA loop around and then 90 out the bumper. This time around, I'm gonna set it up just like the EG, DCs, EKs and stuff, where it goes over the LCA and out the bumper. Now the Vibrant muffler is 21 inches, and from the tip of the bumper to about right here is 21 inches or so. .21-ish. And it stops at the LCA, which is more than enough room to loop over the axle. Since my wheel is preloaded, it's going to be about right here. Plenty of room to put a 2.5 pipe and then go along the drive shaft up into the header turbo combo. So there's not going to be enough room here to put the pump setup in this position. I'm going to move it over to the other side. Now granted, the -10 is going to be coming out somewhere right here, and this is where I want my fitting to be. And you can see how far it goes out, where the -10 right here is supposed to line up where it comes out of the tub itself. So what I got to do is I got to find a way to mount these two guys up here nice and flat, and then we can start building our lines. Hey guys, so it's a new day, and I had to close up last night because it was getting cold, and it was also my uncle's birthday, so we had the cousins and my brothers, everybody was chilling here in the garage and just having a good time, you know. Rest in peace, but not, you know, hopefully we'll see each other again very soon. So yesterday, before I closed up, I was doing some work down here, and I was trying to figure out, you know, my plating for the fuel system right here on the right side. But I forgot that I'm trying to run my sway bar, so I went to go take it off my other CRX and mounted it up, and we have a problem. So with the brackets right here mounted on the rail, where I originally wanted the exhaust to go to, this bracket right here is going to stop the muffler from going further back, which then it's going to stick out about right here. Now if I want to run the sway bar, I'm going to have to, you know, keep the muffler typically how the EF and DA are, which goes over the passenger control arm, you know, loops around to the box and then loops 90 out the bumper. And to do that, it's going to be very tricky because we have a drive shaft over there, and I'm going to have to cross over the drive shaft between the axle and the LCA through the sway bar and then through the box and out the back bumper. So I gotta fit the sway bar in place 100% because right now it's hitting the axle, and I'm gonna cut that front off, and then I'm gonna be able to pull the sway bar up to put the end links onto the control arm, and then I have to drill out the hole here because only one fits, and then get the sway bar permanently mounted in place. And then I'm gonna relocate the fuel system back to the driver's side. You can already see I got the hole right here, and I'm gonna make some platings for it right there, and hopefully we can clear the exhaust 90 pipe out the bumper. So on Wednesday I ordered the fittings that I'm missing, and I ordered the Vibrant Street Power muffler, which I run in all of my cars, and it came in super fast. 1 day shipping. The two fittings I need right here, I'll show you guys in a second on the fuel cell. And then right here we have the Street Power black 2.5 inch in and 3 inch out muffler, and this right here I needed it to make sure I can position it in place with the sway bar kind of pushed back, and then the fuel system on the you know, that 90-degree angle that's gonna be coming off the muffler out the back bumper. So I'm gonna fix up the sway bar real quick, and then we'll continue on the fuel system stuff. So the other two fittings that I bought that I was missing is this guy right here. It's a female -10, which then transitioned to a male -6, and this is gonna be for the return line. It goes on like so, and this is for the return line itself, coming from the regulator, which is going to come up from the floor right there, comes up, and then the 120 is to clear the edge of the tank right there like so, and that's pretty much my return system. This one right here, I got a -10, and I'm going to use a hose where it's going to ventilate the fuel tank, and it's going to go from here, it's going to loop in the hose and then go through the same floor to ventilate out the car. So that's pretty much that. Quick update. So I made flat stock bracket with 10mm nuts on the backside welded on, because that's what I'm going to be using to mount the filter and pump bracket. And right now I'm going to go under the car, mark out where these guys are going to be sitting, and then I'm going to weld these suckers in place, get them painted, and then we can get this mounted up. Yeah, my voice is fucked up. Alright guys, so I'm building my first line right now from the sump to the filter, which is outside of the spare wheel compartment. The pump and the filter is already bolted in place, and now we can start routing pretty much all of our lines from the cell to the front and front back. The first one is coming off the tank. It's a 90-10, and mine is a Ptfe fitting, so it's a little different than your regular AN hose, but not much different and not much more complicated. So obviously it's Teflon coated on the inside, which is rated for a different type of fuel other than gasoline, and you have to get the matching hose end for the Ptfe line. And I've already measured my hose I'm going to be needing from the sump to the filter, which is 11.5 with a little free play, just in case I need to maneuver it whichever direction it needs to go. But pretty simple. Same thing with regular AN hose. You put tape on the end, cut it nice and flat. I'm going to show you this one quick install on the -10 Ptfe line, and like I said, it's pretty straightforward, nothing complicated. I had to do the first one to make sure I remember how to do it, but if you guys remember, the H22 has all Ptfe lines, and I did an install video on that car not too long ago. So pretty much the sleeve goes on first, if I can get it all the way down like so, and then it comes with this compression ring which goes over the Teflon line before the stainless. So it goes on like so, and it has a lip to where it's supposed to stop at, so make sure it's all the way down. This is gonna fray out a little bit, so be careful not to poke your fingers, because this thing right here hurts a million times in a regular you know what I mean. Don't want to do that. So once you get the Teflon all the way to the top of this inner sleeve, pretty much this guy's gonna go up and compress that stainless over that sleeve. You take the other end of your hose end and you insert this into the Teflon, right? Like so, nice and flush. And then pretty much what this one does is you just sleeve it over the fraying of the stainless and bring it all the way up, threading it on should be pretty simple. Make sure you have it still compressed when you're tightening it up, so that way the Teflon is still flushed up against the inner sleeve and, you know, create a much more tighter seal. So pretty simple. I don't have any AN, you know, wrenches. I'm gonna use 2 crescent and just tighten them up, leaving a little bit of a gap. I'm not sure if you're supposed to go all the way, but I've always done it this way and never really had any leaks. But I'm gonna tighten this up and then I'm gonna put it into the car, show you this first one, and then we'll start routing the dash 8 to the front. Fell into the night again because I was trying to figure out where I wanted my fuel filter, the post filter in the engine bay. Originally when I bought it, I had all the fittings and everything made for right there, but never did I thought I was going to go all-wheel drive. So the cable and everything is sitting where the filter is supposed to sit, and the cable is pretty like fixed into place because of the length, so I can't move it or bend it or whatever, and I can't put the filter there. I didn't want it up here because I didn't want it to be too noticeable, and I was going to have it sit right here and pretty much come in, up, and around, but instead I just settled for this position right here. Easy accessible, lines going to come down from the bottom, come straight up into this 90, and then right here this is pretty much straight up with the fuel rail. I got that installed as well. Temporary broken gauge and POS blocks FPR. I might even just change it for the stock one because I don't trust that, but I've been driving the B20 with it, so I know it works. Here we have the 90 off the rail that feeds in, and it's pretty much a straight shot with a little curve on it, and I think that's how I'm gonna run my filter in bay and the line to the rail. When everything's all said and done and I have some free time, I'm gonna go ahead and take all the hard line out of the cabin of the car, as well as the return line right here, the stock one. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get my dash 8 line over there, made it with this guy, hook this guy up to the pump, and then I gotta run the length from the pump, you know, tucked up all the way to the filter, and then that'll be the feed line, and then gotta get started on the return line. I gotta knock that out really quickly because I gotta go pick up the trailer. Just got back home from picking up the trailer for tomorrow, and I'll load the CRX up tomorrow because I'm gonna continue on this right here in the cold because I'm a freaking dumbass. But yeah, just want to show you a little update from right before I left. And here we have the Ptfe 8 going into the filter, and then the filter right here at 11 inches going to the fuel rail. And now I'm going to do the return line. Now the return line is very simple because there's only 2 connection. Well, theoretically there's 2 connection, but I'm doing mine a little different, and I'll talk about it in just a second. But it's going to go from the fuel rail, 1 fitting, all the way to that guy right there, and that'll be my return line. You sound like a pterodactyl, bro. You got to be careful with Ptfe line. It does not like to bend very sharp because it's Teflon coated on the inside, and it's easy to kink it and make the diameter smaller. So here I have my return line literally fed underneath the car, and it stops about halfway because I want to take care of this part first before I route to the rear. And this is what I was trying to say earlier on in the video about running the hose to a barb style to a dash 6. So I'm going to be using this blocks regulator. It's been running fine on the B20, no problems whatsoever, or I can always swap to this guy. But what I'm trying to show you guys, what I'm trying to do is, my line is for a dash 6 right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lengthen this hose, the return line, as if an AM regulator is sitting right here. But because the Victor X manifold for my VTEC head sits super close to pretty much where the regulator points to, I have to run this adapter to turn it 90 degrees. So for the AM regulator sitting sideways like this, I have a 6 to 6 AN for the return line. And again, picture the regulator sitting like this, and then the fitting is going to be pointed like this, right? And I have this 90-degree down here, which is supposed to connect somewhere right here for my return line. And because I don't have the AEM regulator as of right now, this is going to be lengthened as if the AEM regulator is there, except I'm going to be using the rubber hose for the stock style regulator, which then is going to go into a barb style -6 right here, and then that's going to screw onto the return line right here. So when I swap over to an AEM regulator and using that 90-degree angle kit, and with this piece installed, the return line should just fit perfectly right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and button all that up, and then we'll get to the back of the car. All right guys, so you can see here we have the rubber hose clamped down to the fuel pressure regulator, loops over to the -6 barb and to the -690 Ptfe, and that right there pretty much goes all the way to the back. And I've already built this line right here, and then it goes into a -6 to 10, and then that right there is pretty much my return system. I am going to put a grommet down there. It is a hole, but I'm going to put vacuum line or something so it doesn't cut into the line for whatever reason. I'm also going to do that one down there when everything's all finalized. Everything underneath the car has been you know, fastened into place, so it's away from the drive shaft, it's away from, you know, getting caught underneath the car. Went to O'Reilly's earlier because we have a 24-hour one over here. I got some 10-gauge wire, got a 30-amp relay 4-pin because we don't use the center one anyways, and just some extra wires in case I need extra wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my fuel pump relay, which I'm going to be feeding the ground and power off of here. And if you guys remember, underneath the car we pretty much just lubed up the stock harness, and I'm going to be needing the signal wire from that bundle right there, and that right there is going to signal the relay to come on when the key's on, and then the relay will give power to the pump. Get it. What's going on? Whoa, whoa. This is stupid. Oh, what the fuck? Damn, you guys, it's like 1 o'clock right now. We were working on Kerry's car a little bit, getting rid of the OEM fuel filter because it's papered, and he is going to be converting to E85 for the tune tomorrow, so we were doing that a little bit. But my car pretty much done. Return system, feed system under the car, the relay system, and all of the grounds. We have gas in here. Kind of spilled it everywhere a little bit, but there's a good 5 gallon in here, and more than plenty for the sump and the pump to suck even at this angle. And here we got a 30-amp relay set up. We got ground, straight power. This is the signal wire that goes to the main relay. This one right here is the power that goes to the pump itself. And right now they're just temporarily just sitting there. I'm gonna loom everything up right here all nice and clean, as long as we know the car is running. And underneath the car here, the pump is wired up, tucked away really nicely, and grounded. So I got Kerry and Eric here with me because I am going to try to prime it, and because there's so much fittings on here, I want eyes in every corner, and check for leaks. Actually, I'll have you prime it. Right, you go in the front. So I need you to check here, here, and here.
Okay.
Check here and here. Okay.
Here.
Yeah, the return
here.
line. This one right here.
Here. Here.
And there.
And there.
I'm gonna check the bottom under the car. Ready? Let it run. Eric, check.
Check.
Good.
Good.
Again. Let the pump get quiet because it's filling the system right now. Turn it off.
Leak.
Close door. Where?
Leak. Right here.
What the fuck? Alright guys, so we got a leak coming from the hose itself to the AN sleeve. So I might have pushed this out when I was tightening it up, and I can kind of see how crooked it is. So we are not able to fire the car, even though it's 1 o'clock and it's open header. I probably didn't want to do it anyways, but I wanted to check to see if we were leaking, and we have just one. Everything else is looking good underneath the car, the return side, the filter side, but this one I'm probably gonna have to take care of it tomorrow. We got to get ready for the tune tomorrow. It's 1 o'clock. We got to get there by 10. It takes an hour and a half to drive with the trailer, and that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. I should have already done the live stream for the 3 winner for the 4 Bangers Production Key Tag Giveaway 2. Also want to run this by you guys. The Built to Drive Big Cartel is back up and live, so you guys can go and check out the webpage. We have 2 t-shirts, and we also have a couple of stickers. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'm super tired. I'm super hungry. You just got to work. You got to go to sleep. You got to go to school. I got to go edit this damn video. So if you guys like today's progress, be sure to hit the like button. And if you guys want to see this car back on the floor on all fours, subscribe button. With that being said, thank you guys for watching.